Hello everyone, I am Professor Ashwini Naik and this is our 7th class of Income Tax for BCom 5th semester students. Today's class we are going to learn about PAN. As an income tax students, you must be knowing what is PAN, what are its requirements, what are its uses, etc. So let us begin with the concept PAN. I hope you all might be knowing the full form of PAN. It is Permanent Account Number. What is PAN means? PAN refers to a 10-digit alphanumeric issued in a form of laminated card by Income Tax Department in India. You all have seen PAN cards or you all might be having your own PAN cards also. If you just take somebody's PAN card in your hand and check, you will find that it has 10 digits and those 10 digits include alphabets also and also number. That is the reason it is said PAN refers to a 10-digit alphanumeric. It is issued in the form of what? Laminated card. Whatever PAN card that you get, it is already in the laminated form and it is issued by the Department of Income Tax in India. So the question arises, who issues PAN? So PAN is issued by whom? It is issued by the Income Tax Department in India. So Indian Income Tax Department under the control of CBDT, that is Central Board of Direct Taxes, and it is almost equivalent to a national identification number. PAN card is what? It is national identification number that you are carrying. Coming to next question, who can use the PAN card? What are the uses of the PAN card? So, first is for filing income tax return, you must have a PAN card number. That is PAN number. For filing income tax return in the sense when you provide the details relating to your income and expenditure that you have earned or incurred during the previous year, whenever you are providing these details, it is called as filing income tax return. So whenever you are filing income tax return, you must have PAN. Next use can be operating demat account. So whenever you want to operate a demat account, you must have PAN. And also when you want to deposit 50,000 rupees or more in bank, you must have PAN. When you want to invest in shares or mutual funds above 50,000 rupees, you must have PAN with you. PAN is also required when you want to sell or purchase a property. Whether it is a vehicle, whether you want to purchase any machineries for your business or you want to purchase a land, building, etc., you need a PAN card. That means in case of sale or purchase of any kind of property, you need to have PAN. Also, when you want a new telephone connection, PAN is required. And when you want to make a payment of hotel bills above 25,000 rupees, you must have PAN. So what are the different uses of PAN? When you are filing a return, PAN helps you. When you are operating your demat account, when you are depositing 50,000 rupees or more in bank, when you are investing 50,000 rupees or more in shares or in mutual fund, you need PAN. When you are purchasing or selling any of your property, you require PAN. When you want to get a new telephone connection, whether it is a landline or mobile phone, you need a PAN. Whenever you want to make a hotel bills, whenever you want to pay hotel bills above rupees 25,000, you require PAN. And also one of the major use of the PAN is nothing but it is used as your identity. As we use our Aadhaar card as identity, even PAN can be used as your identity. So these are the uses of having PAN. Next question that arises in your mind is it return must be filed once you get a PAN? Nowadays we can see most of the people are having PAN, whether they are selling vegetables or they are students or they are involved in any kind of profession or business, they will be having PAN. It is not necessary that if you have PAN, you should file a return. This is some wrong concept that the people have, that if you have PAN, you have to compulsorily file a return. No, but if you want to file a return, compulsorily you should have a PAN. Just understand this difference. PAN can be taken, or for issue of PAN card anybody can apply. But that doesn't mean the person has to compulsorily file the return. Even a student can opt for PAN, but that doesn't mean a student should file a income tax return. But if any person wants to file income tax return, compulsorily should have PAN card. Therefore, I think this query is clear that having PAN does not mean filing return, but filing return means a PAN card is compulsory. Coming to next, how to get a PAN. To get a PAN, you should provide all your personal details in form number 49A to any of the PAN facilitation center. And these PAN facilitation centers are located almost in all the cities and also in some of the major towns. So wherever there is income tax office located in any city or town, you can apply PAN by providing your details. Now next question, what are the details required to apply for PAN? Obviously, the first detail that is required to obtain for PAN is your name. Second is, you need to provide a information about your father's name. Suppose it is a boy, compulsorily he has to provide detail of his name of his father. If it is a girl, whether the girl is married or not, irrespective of that, the father's name is provided compulsorily. So even if the girl is married, compulsorily she has to give the name of her father. Next, date of birth. Date of birth is also compulsory information that is required to submit. Then address. Address in the sense both office address as well as residential address need to be provided. Next, sources of your income. Sources of your income in the sense whether you are earning a salary, whether you are receiving a rent from your house property, do you have a business or you are a professionalist, have you sold any property, that is you have a capital gain, or you receive interest. What exactly the source of income you have, that you need to provide. We have total 5 different heads of income. One is income from salary, second is income from house property, third is income from business or profession, fourth is capital gain, and fifth is other sources. So whenever you want to opt for a PAN, you need to submit this information, that is what source of income do you have. Next is you need to provide proof of identity. Proof of identity, the list we are going to discuss later, and also you need to provide the proof of your address. And 2 recent photographs which are in color, and on one of the photos you have to duly sign. So these are the documents that you are required to submit when you want to apply for a PAN. Coming to next, List of documents for ID proof. What are the list of documents as your ID proof? It can be school living certificate, matriculation certificate, degree certificate, valid your credit card, your water bill, ration card, passport, voter ID card, or driving license. Any of this can be provided as the ID proof. Next, list of documents for address proof. What are the documents that you can provide as your address proof? Electricity bill, phone bill, credit card statement, bank account statement, employer certificate, ration card, passport, voter's ID card, driving license. It means in whichever statement or card your address is mentioned, that is nothing but your address proof. So these are the documents that you need to provide when you want to apply for a PAN. We have come to the last part of this class. Certain important notes or certain important questions that you are expected to answer when you learn this topic PAN. First is, can you have more than one PAN? What is your answer? No, you cannot have more than one PAN. You should compulsorily have a single PAN. Second question or second note is, can a minor apply for PAN? Yes, minor can also apply for a PAN card. And the last note for today's class is, those who cannot sign, it means those who give their thumb impression, they can give their thumb impression but affixed in the form 49A. The recommended changes can be made, and instead of signature you can also give a thumb impression if you cannot sign. So this is what we have learnt in today's class, that is meaning of PAN, what are its uses, certain queries also we have tried to sort out, and also the details required to apply when you want to apply for a PAN card, the details that you are required to submit when you want to apply for a PAN card. I hope you have understood this class. Next class we are going to discuss with the last topic of our first unit, that is income tax authorities. Okay, so see you in the next class.